then, you know, supermarket shelves are empty. Yeah?
Yeah.
Just keeps getting put on the table. I'm not sure it's the cap off that, I think.
Yeah.
Let's put it down there. Not too cold tonight, not bad. No wind again. Those lights must be just about to come on. You'd think.
It's solar.
You should put the big light on if you want to.
Yeah, I realise that's in, but don't need it yet. Unless you want to put it on.
No, it's good. Hello, Texas. How are you? Going good. Lots of little things getting done around the extension. You don't get to notice a lot of them, but they're getting done. You are first. You win a trip for two, travelling through China. First class, because there's no one on the planes.
Plus you'll be paying for it.
Well, no, I think you'll get... Actually, I did read the other day, Chinese airlines are charging like $9 for trips. Yeah, no way, I agree.
That's just stupid.
Our daughter went down the shops today, Texas, and phoned up the wife and said the shelves are nearly empty. So we went down and, yeah, they're just about completely empty. Staying home is a good idea. A very good idea. We've topped up. I did a little video a week or so ago and we've been topping up just in case.
You got enough leg room there for yourself?
Yeah, I'm good. But I'm pretty sure it's happening everywhere.
It is.
Evening, Bully. No, I don't watch a lot of YouTube, Bully, but at least I know now because you inform me. You're my little reporter, reporting live from Coach 9500, the RSC Bully. So, Bully, where you live, are the supermarket shelves a bit empty? Because ours are being gutted.
I don't believe anything Bully says, so I'll go check Kate's channel myself later.
Okay. Yeah, it was weird. We were talking about it last week and we thought it would happen, but today was staggering. I mean, empty shelves, like nothing there.
Toilet paper, tissues, serviettes,
Food,
pasta,
all general
packets.
foods. She fell over.
Packets, huh?
Yeah, it was just everything. Lots of dry goods that aren't there. Tin foods. Apologise about that, Texas. It was the angle of the dangle. We could do, but I don't think it's going to be any different elsewhere, Bully. I think if you typed in supermarket shelves empty, I haven't looked, but just go and do that for me and see how many videos pop up. I think you'll find
Yeah,
there'll be lots of them.
I googled it.
Did you?
I did just a little video just down the tissue toilet aisle.
Oh, did you?
Yeah,
There's nothing there.
only goes for a couple of seconds. Because you got to be careful. Even though they report on the news and show the shops, you're not actually allowed to film in the shops.
Oh, there's some places we have had permission in the past, like Aldi's we were given permission.
Spud shed.
I mean, one of the things people, they get a roll on, there's a bit of a fear factor, obviously. It's not as if the warehouses are empty. They always are stocked up for 5 to 6 months. But supply may be limited on certain products, but we produce a lot of our own food in this country, so it's not a big deal.
And delivery.
Hello, Danny.
Delivery will be slow because
She
the
sent
big
you
shops.
an article.
the big shops order so much and they'll order extra of this.
Oh, they have their own warehouses.
Yeah, but they only order in so much.
Oh no, there's 5 to 6 months worth of food in major
No, I mean
warehouses.
into the supermarket itself.
Well, they didn't expect what happened today. But this, like I say, all around the world, this is happening.
Sent me an article because I sent Danny the little video
I didn't see it, Texas, but the wife would tell you that some people have now started selling food on, like, was it eBay or was Gumtree?
Yeah, a lot of them have been taken down.
Good, because they're like trying to sell a roll of toilet paper, one roll, $1. They're just trying to,
more,
Well,
$5.
they're just trying to take advantage of a situation, which for me, it makes me angry because that's not right. Yeah, I mean, the true figure, Danny, you know how infectious diseases work. It'd be a case of, you know, they say there's 90,000 people affected in the world. You could multiply that by about 5 and come close to a real figure. But we just got to do what we got to do. Try not to panic, just trying to minimise your contact. Stay away from big areas with loads of people. You got 60 rolls. You will be known as the toilet queen. There'll be people worshipping your door. Please, just one even slice of toilet paper for the poor. People will be inventive when it comes to toilet paper. They'll use kitchen roll paper. They'll use newspaper. They'll
Tissues.
probably even use the garden hose if you think about it. But yeah, it was, it's not alarming because I know there's plenty of food in the warehouses, but it was interesting to see people with trolley loads of food that they could hardly push because they'd filled them up so much. But it's the fear of the unknown. That's why people just semi-panic. There was no rushing around the supermarket by anyone, but they were all topping up their trolleys. Hello, Hammers. Maybe someone should send him a hazmat suit, and then he could sing the hazmat blues. But yeah, the shelves were nearly completely empty. They were completely empty in portions. There was nothing.
All the dry goods were gone. There were stacks of fruit and veg
You know, and well,
and frozen stuff and cold stuff.
you can't really get a whole heap of fruit and veg and keep it.
Well, not unless you got it and you
Made meals.
preserved it, canned it, made meals.
I could, at a push, probably get about 30 packets of homemade meals. You know, I put them in tubs. I could fit them in the freezer, but that's all there'd be.
And then canned stuff. But just right now, it's, I don't know. We made a heap of canned stuff. Where would we put it? because we're sort of limited.
Oh, well, actually, we can put it everywhere because we've got nothing in the extension at the moment.
I know, but
We could become a warehouse.
they're not quite finished, so we can't stock it up in there fully.
No, we're good. Yep, I'm a great believer in that, Texas. The good, the bad, and the ugly of life is that we are born and we die. We sort of know where we're born and what happened. We have no idea at the other end. The Beatles song, Let It Be.
That little video I sent Danny and Buttercup, that was just one row of how many, 20 rows in Coles is there?
Oh, look, I mean, if
20, 30
I
rows?
had to give an estimate, the shop was probably a fifth full. In other words, 4/5 of the food had been bought. In fact, the girls at the checkout were saying, there's nothing to refill the shelves with tonight. So it's like, it'll be interesting tomorrow. I see it in your area, Seeds. Well, my area has 2.5 million people, Bully, so you have great vision. No, I mean, we've got extra food we've purchased over the last few weeks, and we intend to, if we have to, eat it. Or if we don't have to and things come good, we'll give it to the homeless shelter, which I'm sure lots of people will do. But there's nothing wrong in being prepared a little bit without going silly, like you say, Texas. I mean, I can just imagine the real die-hard preppers who couldn't fit another can into their storage anyway. They'd be saying, I told you. Well, this is probably one of many things the planet faces. No, there's plenty of meat. But the thing is, Bully, we're a net producer of food in Australia. You name it, we got it. So we're not going to run out. It's hard to tell the Australian public saying, just think a bit, mate. We produce all our own fruit and veg, all our own meat, all our own grains. You name it, we grow it. It will, Bully. It will go away. When is the question. It's like when a vaccine's developed. Even if they tried to speed up the process, I think you're looking at minimum 12 months.
That's the other thing people
You're
are
welcome,
panicking.
Texas.
The other thing people are panicking, once you usually get their flu shots, they're saying it's now at the chemist. But what they're not realising, that's last year's flu shot. It's not. Every year they bring out a new one.
No, it won't end by May, Bully. I'll tell you what happens, Bully, and you've got to understand the fear factor. I'll give you an idea of what's going to be affected. If this ended tomorrow, let's say we get a huge announcement, it's all stopped. Okay, so it ends tomorrow. Well, it will take many months, if not years, for people to have confidence in flying abroad to different countries, to buying certain products from countries. There'll be still a bit of racism based on the fact, oh, well, all this stuff can come from China. Dozens and dozens of Chinese restaurants in our city have closed because no one is going there. Now, is that racist? Probably, but it's more just out of fear, not racism. And travel in certain areas, people won't go. I mean, the cancellation rate, and Australians travel a lot. I mean, they really do. And the cancellation rate's been staggering. We have plenty of stock, you told me, but I'm curious to see what our store shelves. Yeah. Yeah, I think, like I say, it's the fear factor. America produces, is not a fully net producer of food, but it produces tons of food. So you're not going to run out of food really in the US. It's hard to tell the American population that as well, but it's true. But why people are doing it is because if they think, well, if I need to stay away from everywhere for a month or two, that's why they're doing it. They're working on the principle, and it's always been a clever principle, of self-isolation. You know, when I was a kid, there was things like measles, killed a lot of people. Measles, whooping cough. They were two big killers. Trust me.
Danny just sent that one as well. I forwarded the other one to you.
What's it mean all that?
Well, you have to read it.
Okay, so I'll stop what I'm doing and I'll read it. Unacceptable government group habit says. Yeah, the thing is, the one thing that they don't really know, a lot of people say, no, it's 14 days. No, that's what the World Health Organization and the CDC, all of them say 14 days should be enough. But the fact is they don't know what the incubation period of this is. It's a strange beast. Doesn't seem to follow any rhyme or reason. It's very contagious, like the common cold. There's no point carrying any weapons, Billy. No one's going to be looking for bullets. People will be looking for food. You're going to have instances, though. Let's say it escalated marginally. Let's say it was 4 times as bad as it is now all around the globe. You'll have people armed in their own homes. Trust me, that will happen.
And looting.
And then people will try and loot for food. They'd rather go and steal food from a house than go to a shopping complex with 3,000 people. The thing about what you do, Bully, and what I do is you don't know what I have. Do you?
That's true, Danny.
Sorry, did Danny say something I didn't see it? I think that's the point, Danny. I think if we say incubation period in studies says it could be up to 3 weeks, say. Well, we already know some people have carried it for well over a month and infected other people. Know the asymptomatics, but we don't know. There is no hard and fast because this is new. It's not something that's had a foundation that we can go, here's the fact. And the reoccurrence, I've read a couple of articles now where people had it, got sick, got better, released, and now they've got it again. My question, and Danny might be able to help me here, is that maybe they didn't really get rid of it. It's because some viruses can remain dormant in people and then be re-triggered. Malaria is a classic example, or dengue fever, or what I had years ago, Ross River virus, which is a form of malaria. It comes sneaking back on you. Bully's given us the word, end of May, everything's going to be okay. Would you like to put $1,000 on that, Bully? Would you like to bet $1,000 that it's not going to be end by May? Old Gringo's running around naked in the room. That's conservative. No ifs or buts. Wow. I do know that they're not sure about the transmission from human to animals. But, of course, we were told that it was from animals to human. We got this. So that's not true, is it? It's transferable. Is it transferable from humans to animals, dogs in particular? We don't know. I know they're still testing a dog because it had symptoms of the virus.
Where was that at?
I forget where it was. I read it online. There's so many articles about it online, you get lost. Yeah, it's one of those things that there's no definitive. So working on past viruses is all they can gauge. Oh, there's plenty of things worse than the coronavirus. I could rattle off 50 diseases far worse than this that we have in our society. One of the big ones, which is terribly destructive. No one really takes any interest in it, Danny. Hepatitis C. Hardly anyone talks about it. I mean, in a literal sense, you're more likely to die from the complications of hepatitis C than you are of HIV. but no one wants to know that. Oh, all around the world, old Gringo, they're chasing for the vaccine.
Hey, my chocolate buddy.
Whom would that be? VMAC?
Yeah.
Hello, VMAC. Hey, VMAC, are your shelves being attacked in your food stores? I hear what you're saying, Hammers, but what's fact? Do you know what I mean? It's not as if these countries ever sort of willingly give information. It's in China and other countries in the Northern Hemisphere, it's planting season.
And how are your stores in your shop, VMAC? Like we went down tonight after my daughter went down and rang me and said, Mum, there's no toilet paper or tissues in the shop, no pasta, no this, no that. So we went and had a look. And she was right.
4/5 of the shelves would be empty. I'm not only naked and running around, I'm singing, born free, let my Willie breathe, born free. Oops, the neighbor's window can see me. From the blockades, okay.
But the chocolate aisle was pretty much intact, thank God. I went
It's
there
funny
first.
that I went down
Yep.
the chocolate aisle
Went
because you
there
got
first.
some stuff, didn't you? But I mean,
Yes,
you think the first thing, oh, we've got to get chocolate.
I did. That was my first place of port of call was the chocolate aisle.
We don't have a lot of alcohol.
We never drank that beer anyway.
No, we've probably got a carton of beer all up, or more. Bit of whiskey,
Yeah.
bit of Stone's Green Ginger.
Oh, is that in the fireplace?
Yeah,
Is that where I put it?
There's a little bit in port. But even if things got bad, it'd still be there in 12 months. We just sip on alcohol and have the odd one. We're not going to start heavily drinking because something
Why?
happened.
No. That's silly.
Storm chips have become bugs. Okay. Not quite sure what that means, but don't really know what a storm chip is. Oh, the chip aisles.
Actually, so were ours, VMAC, actually.
Yeah,
The
no.
chip aisles were low, but the chocolate wasn't. Yeah, I had trouble finding chips that I eat.
But it wasn't like there was areas where there was food, but it was like the food that's not popular anyway. Do you know what I mean? But the food that is always consumed, they were empty.
Oh, and obviously people picked up emergency stuff, like usually the tuna aisle and the pre-packaged aisles are never low.
Yeah,
They
VMAC's
were-
right. Chip aisles are empty during a hurricane. Well, I'm happy that you're safe, Bully. I am. Not sure if you can fight an invisible foe, but I'm happy that you think you are. 6 cartons of Tooheys new. We drink Tooheys old. 3 bottles of Jack. You're fine, mate.
No, neither two is old, JP.
Kansas City. Kansas City. Where do you live, Kansas City?
Oh, the alcohol shop, was it really low? I had a quick
No, it
look
was
in
full.
there.
It's like the world's not going to stop spinning, but some of us will fall off. That's probably the best way to look at this. I do know that because the fear factor all around the globe is real for people, that they'll stop certain times sending their kids to school. In fact, in Australia, they've already unleashed the pandemic laws here. The government can stop people going to large gatherings of 100,000 people, say, at a football stadium, races, you name it. They can, by law now, like a martial law, they can say it's off, finished. Just make sure you've got plenty of garlic, ginger, onions, chilli. They're the medicines given to us from this planet. It is Wrangler Day when you think about, well, in my country, we're a net producer of food. We have too much bloody food. And our shelves are being emptied by people panicking. But there's two sides to this. One, if they do have a good supply of food at home, they don't have to go anywhere. So there's that. Secondly, we would only eat maybe 5% of the food we produce. We export it all. So, yeah, it's fear. And it's usually when you see other people look at other people, think, well, she's getting a trolley, I'll get a trolley load. So what will happen, if all things go well, is that a lot of these supermarkets won't have people come for a couple of months because they got all the food a couple of months ago. But like I say, we've topped up. We haven't gone silly, but we've topped up. And if you have to take precautionary measures if something in your area got bad, well, do it. I mean, it's not silly, but you don't need, 4 pallets of water. The taps still work. You can boil water if you're worried. I just think that, like I say, the peripheral things to the end of this, whenever it ends, Bully says May, but that's a way underestimate in my eyes, is that the fear factor will remain. People won't travel overseas as much. They'll cancel boat cruises, because of what they've seen. It's a natural reaction. But airline companies now are cutting flights everywhere. So they've even got aircraft sitting in the hangar now. We're not a huge country for airlines, but we've got half a dozen. A lot of them aren't going anywhere. Welcome back, Texas. Hello, Buttercup. See, it'd be interesting to see if Buttercup's having the same. The thing is, we are not going to run out of food here, ever. I mean, even if everything's shut, well, there's 65 million kangaroos, probably about 10 million feral pigs. There's more fish in the ocean here than you can imagine, lobster. No, we're not going to run out of food. But the shelves were basically 4/5 empty. Oh, that's not a very nice thing to say, Bully. Look, what just walked in? Yeah, see, this is where your education etiquette needs to be retrained. It's not a what, it's a lovely lady called Buttercup. But because of your actions and your verbs, you're probably going to get a kick in the ass. Hello, Scarlett. Like I say, I wouldn't call it panic buying that I witnessed tonight, but certainly very heavy trolley loads of food by people. Masses of the areas that were empty. Yep, that's all good. Like I say, if you've got, what we're saying, Ram, is we have topped up, not ridiculously, but we've topped up. And in 5 to 6 months, if all's good, we'll be taking a very large amount of food down to the homeless shelter with no regrets. Normally this food I would never eat, to be honest with you. I don't easily open a tin or a packet of anything.
Okay, Texas cleaning, we're going to be listening.
But it's good that people are cautious. That would be the word I'd ask people to follow. Be cautious. You know, if you plan to go on a trip overseas, maybe don't.
Well, that's what we've done.
Yeah,
We're not going.
We would have booked by now for the US, but that's on standby for obvious reasons. We normally get 7 to 8 hurricanes, or we call them cyclones, a year in my state alone. I only had a few this year.
Yeah.
Only one big one hit.
Mac, I lived like that for 20 years. My shop was always 6 to 8 weeks of shopping because that's how far away it was. You had to do bulk shopping. Always had your stores prepared for cyclones.
JP's going to test his immune system. That's interesting. Does that involve an alcoholic beverage by any chance?
No travel.
Oh no, that's right, travel. It's not going to stop a lot of people. It will make people think. One of the greatest things I heard today, and I'm very pleased in regards to this thing going around, is that it does not affect children as badly as adults. That's good to know. Yep, travel and alcohol.
So it's,
Yeah, the stats were quite staggering. Even some of the kids who did test positive, and large numbers of them, didn't get sick.
so it's all right travelling, but I'm not willing to risk the fact I get on a plane that someone might have unknowingly have it or knows and haven't spoken up, and then I get somewhere and then my holiday goes from 6 weeks to 10 weeks
Or more.
and then I can't get back to my family. That would
Not to drive past
upset
it.
me.
Nice
So-
been looked after.
Yeah, I don't want to risk going somewhere and then I'm stuck in quarantine for another month. So,
I think that's the crux of it, Wrangler, is that there is no definitive answer to how it spreads. I mean, for me, it's like the common cold. Because there are so many unknowns, it may be worse than the common cold, but it's certainly as effective. It's equal to, in fatality rates, to the Spanish flu, which my grandfathers lived through. And they tell me the death rate was the same as this one, about 3.5 to 4%, no different. In 1918, 1919, the final stats didn't get together for about a decade, but the figures came in at over 50 million people sadly lost their lives.
yeah, you're right, Buttercup. You don't want fear to affect you, but it's just by then I will have another new grandchild when we just born, when we were going to go to America. So,
Absolutely, JP, no problem. But the problem is, that's if you get it here. If you get it overseas, you might be on the Diamond Princess for 6 months.
see, that's what I don't want.
Let
I'm
me
overseas
out.
and then something happens.
There's so many natural foods that help your immune system anyway. And I always bleat on about garlic, onions, chili, ginger, and there are many more. They're natural immune boosters. And you check it out. You don't have to believe me, but they are. And I eat tons of garlic, onions, chili, and ginger.
Yeah, the JP for Uber still delivers. You just get a big hook or something big long stick.
Honey, yeah, we had
the
a
food on
conversation one night, honey, hello, honey. Scarlett, we went through about 20 or 30 that we use. Vinegar, the list goes on and on. I think the Diamond Princess is going to be one of the worst patronised vessels for the next 10 years. And imagine being on a radio show and they say, you've won the prize. And you say, what's the prize? It's a 10-day tour on the Diamond Princess.
And then
What?
are they going to strip that boat and refurbish it, or are they just going to get in there with heavy-duty cleaning items? That's another question people have asked after.
Well, literally, all you've got to do is leave it for a couple of months vacant, and it'll be all good.
They didn't do that with the planes.
No, they fumigate the planes all the time.
No,
yeah.
they stripped them. They took the
If
material.
you've ever flown to Asia, I know JP has. Remember, just before you land, JP, please duck your head, because they come round with pshh, and the whole cabin fills up with disinfectant. I'm not kidding you. old saying, there's nothing to fear, but fear itself is true. But being cautious is being smart. There's, like I say, when you think about the natural abilities of foods, then you look at the other side where people eat lots of preservatives, colourings, additives, you name it. They're not well. There's a reason for all that. It makes you smell good. Well, with the stats are coming in here in Australia already, just peripheral stats, like one university in New South Wales has lost $200 million. That is just simply Chinese students not attending. So that's a very small aspect of it. This will be in the billions, if not trillions, for countries in regards to lost revenue, tourism, production. It will all add up. We say the kick-on effect goes into all areas of life. No, I don't fear death regularly either. No, I want to die well, don't get me wrong. But it's inevitable. Well, I had some sad news for you today, Bully. The Chinese government did release the information to Apple Inc., saying that their production levels are only at 20%. It's going to devastate you. Look, I mean, it's one of these old adages. If you wanted to Google it, you'd find what I'm saying. You know, people say they're running out of hand sanitizers in the shops. I'm going to ask you, because I know Scarlett will know some of this. All right, there's no commercial products available. What are you going to use to sanitize your hands? I can think of about 15 products. But seriously, Danny can help too. She'll know. She knows what I'm going on about. Do you need a commercially bought hand sanitizer? Or could you use something else? Bleach? Yep, you can water down bleach to about 1 to 20. Certainly don't have any stronger. That will do the job. Bleach is good for so many things. No, not if you've got the virus. Bully, think about it for a moment, son. Put your pencil down and think about it. Soap. I was waiting for it. Actually, even just soap is pretty good sanitizer. But there are so many products, you can throw them out. Whiskey was one of them. Any alcohol over content of 40% will do the job. And things like vinegar. There's even natural, yep, you've just stole it, old gringo, soap tree. We have 2 varieties in Australia. You just grab the bush and you keep rubbing and you end up with a handful of soap. And believe it or not, one of the best hand sanitizers in the world is water. But it's got no stuff in it. Yeah, but you clean your hands. There are so many products that you've got in your own house. Bleach is the obvious one. Vinegar. I wouldn't say clean your hands in honey, but that is antiseptic to a point. Could get rather sticky. Yeah, we'll have to order a 10 ton of chocolate. We'll become chocolate barons. Yep, smoke sanitizers, because it's a certain temperature. Steam is the one I'm waiting for people to say, but no one said it. Will you burn yourself by cleaning your hands in steam? No, if you're just a little bit way off. You can actually sterilize a lot of things with steam. Tobacco kills some viruses, that's true. And sometimes the poor old tobacco plant gets its own virus. Works both ways. But don't forget that simple one, steam. You run out of everything else. You want to sanitize your hands. Don't put your face down there. Put your hands, you can take that extra little bit of warmth. No, it's sandpaper. Danny, go back to the class. Sit next to Bully just for a moment. Sandpaper. Were you trying to clean a Sasquatch or what? But just plain water. And another thing, our water's not going to be cut off. Our dams aren't infected. Our food supplies are guaranteed in my country and the US. You've got plenty of food. So, but storing enough to stay away from people is why I get what people are doing. Just in case you want to isolate yourself for a month. Well, if you've got that much food tucked away for a month, good, you'll be fine. But then again, you don't have to go to the shop. JP could, if I said now, I gave him 20 items to order. He'd get on the phone or get on the internet and he would have his goods delivered tomorrow with no need to go down the shop. I think one of the biggest businesses to get into the moment would be delivering products. Hello, Mel. We got 2 soap bushes in Australia. One in the Territory. I remember being taught by an Aboriginal lady saying this is how it works. And you can beat it with a stick if you like to get some of the goodies out of the leaves, but you don't really have to, you just rub. But there's so many things that people fear, generally. If I said, how do you people feel about very large spiders? There'd be half a dozen of you saying, oh, I don't like them. But have you heard of anyone getting killed by a very large spider? That's the number one key, Wrangler. You know what I'm talking about. The last bit that you said. That is the number one product. Bully, I fear you like when my grandchildren leave a piece of Lego lying on the floor at night that I don't see. Every now and then I'll step on it. But that's about it. I know it's only a piece of Lego. Yes, there are. Absolutely, Buttercup. The biggest one is living in misery. So, Bully, do you want to take me up on that $1,000? I'll make it US bet that this particular virus will certainly be around after May, and you're saying it will finish in May. We have witnesses here. If we read the news lines, 30th of April, virus has been declared completely gone. I'm going to send you a check, and I'm good for it. But if it goes into after May, you good to send me $1,000 US, Bully? Or are you just going a bit quiet there for a moment? We have witnesses. No, it's not going to go away. It's going to pop up like a blister, Wrangler, as you know. That's it. It may have a vaccine for it in the future, which would be fantastic, but go away not. No, you can't change your headline now, Bully. I've changed it to people will stop fearing. No. You said it would be gone by May. I guess your answer is you don't want to take me up on the bet. No, they won't. Well, bet me $1,000 US, Bully. You're saying by the end of May it'll all be gone. No mention of it. No one will talk about it. The media will forget about it. And if it happens, you'll get a check for $1,000. Well, I want to know if my money's good coming from you. Yes, people don't understand that either. It's not a flu, but it is part of the coronavirus family, which I think there are 6 or 7 now with this one. 7 main ones. So I think the best way, that I'm not medically trained, but I would say this is an infection without any knowledge. We don't have any knowledge about it, which the other ones we do.
Is that Lady Dreamweaver?
Oh, hello, Dream. Sorry, I didn't see your text. Yeah. If you think about what Danny's saying, it may become one of the lesser viruses in the future. It's still nasty, but if there's a vaccine for it, well, you'll be good. And I still haven't seen anywhere, Danny, where people who have had it have now been considered immune, which people can be tested. No one's saying that. I am hearing that people are being reinfected, but is it the same virus or is it a mutant? Because these things don't often stay as one. They can split into different genomes and add certain things to it, and suddenly you've got this virus number 2. Well, I think, like many things like this, if you've ever had, say, a bacterial infection of pneumonia, well, you get over it. I got over it, but I'm well informed by the doctor saying, well, you've got over it and you're doing well now. He said, but the damage is there in your tissue. It does leave scar tissue. So that's why some people are reasonably healthy today, but then they get this and they die. It's a pre-existing condition of their lungs anyway. But I'm not here to frighten anyone. I think I'm trying to tell people, don't be scared, but be smart. Some people are travelling, some people are not, and it doesn't matter either way as long as you take precaution. The one thing I wouldn't do right now would be to go on a boat cruise, just because you're very confined. There's no like, well, I'm getting out of town. Well, you're not if you're at sea for a week. So, do you remember how these vessels were treated when it first came out? They were just pushed away from every country. Yeah, no, we'll just stop, Ollie. I mean, I think you've been very lucky that someone hasn't banned you. I don't do that sort of thing. I like to see you writhe in agony continuously. But the people here can ban you. Just be aware of that. Yep. There's nothing wrong with people buying 50 cartons of water, okay? Because it's just water. But our water's fine. You're not going to contract anything through the water, except maybe bits of metal and lime and fluoride. But I got a very big roof. I'd never run out of water. Even the little rain we get with such a large roof system, I've got plenty of water. But like I say, today was the first impact that I've seen of it here because of the shelves being emptied and people stocking up in an orderly fashion. There was no big queues or anything like that, just very large trolley loads of foods. But we will, if need be, not send kids to school. People will try and work from home. A lot of viruses, in my memory, Danny can correct me if she likes, rarely stay active after about 3 to 6 hours. It depends if the virus is in an environment that it can survive, but on its own, it's nothing. It's not an animal, it's not something you could say can exist in a different environment. It needs a host. So let's say I touched a handrail and I'm sweaty and I've got the virus. In the best conditions, 3 to 6 hours would be the maximum. Welcome back, Mel. But in Australia, I'm pretty sure it's the same everywhere. When you see someone you know, you shake hands like you haven't seen them for a year or two. How are you going? We actually had an edict today released by our health system saying, we know it's all Australian, but don't shake hands. Pretty hard to stop that habit, I think. Well, again, we don't know, Wrangler, but I'm generalising in most viruses. It's very hard for it to survive after 3 to 6 hours outside the body. In other words, on a shopping trolley, something like that. And I do know they're going to start to do that. They're having sanitisers, guys walking around during the day, sanitising the trolleys that are in the car parks, then putting them back into the trolley. All those sort of things will become normal for the next few months. Yep, actually a lot of people can work from home. There's physical things that can't be done. Most virus can't survive longer than 45 minutes. Yep, I do know the tests on the papers that I've read is under the right conditions, it's 3 to 6 hours. That's maximum. It's got more to do with the fact that it is a virus. It needs a host to survive. No virus can survive without really a host. Hello, VMAX, asking personal questions of what can't you touch, JP? But isn't this a wonderful planet? Someone made a joke out of it, and I get it, and yeah, it's probably not a good time to make a joke out of it, but it was saying that, forget this one. We have over 3,000 different diseases we can get. Staggering when you think about it. Well, it's having a wonderful effect of taking money out of people's retirement funds, Buttercup, as per usual. Get your minds out of the gutter, he says. Yeah, I don't know how much. I mean, you're going to see some of these, because if this is what it is and our economies weren't good anyway, we should probably lose 20 to 30% of our market values. That would be normal. And I'm pretty sure you're going to see some false rises during certain days. People making certain speeches about everything's okay. The underlying fact is the economy was terrible before this came along, everywhere. So you'll see some big rises and see some massive falls. He's like a modern day Messiah is, Jono. People will follow him everywhere. He'll walk along in his sandals, in his long t-shirt, and he'll turn around the crowd and say, I'm not the Messiah. Yes, you are. I'm not. Mother Nature is the levelling force on this planet. We call it Mother Nature. We really mean the planet and all its little nasties. When there becomes too many of us, like a dog wet from a shower, Mother Nature shakes. Hello, Shauna. We've got so much chocolate here, Shauna. You could bathe in it. Might be a little bit tainted after you did, but still, you can eat it. Shauna's like a Formula One driver. She's just come into the pits and then she's off again. There's a study that I read years ago about how the frequency of the Earth is about 7 point something, and so are the humans. We're in tune with the planet, if you like. But then when, as my wife says, disease occurs within humanity, be it war, famine, hatred, a lot of things seem to come from that, and none of them are much good. Yep, Mr. Seeds just protected you from yourself. But, like I say, you do what you have to do. Some people are well prepared. Wrangler Dave's always been prepared. Many people are. But just be cautious. You know, if I have to, I promise JP, if he goes on these travels, I will send him a Snickers bars once a week. No matter whether he's stuck in the Bay of Bengal on an island that doesn't really have a name, and he's pacing up and down, so I'll get it dropped off to him somewhere. Just that little bit of hope and glory each week as a small parachute carries a Snickers bar down to this unnamed island. I don't think you should be worried about it. My personal view is just take precautions. If you happen to stock up on a little bit more food, that's fine. Wouldn't order a container load of the stuff, but yep, so JP's assured that that one Snickers bar will arrive, because he'll get pretty angry during the 6.5 days before he gets it. Other than that, he'll just be eating sand and shellfish.
Wrangler asked, did you grow
Well-
your hair and beard back?
What?
Wrangler asked, said, did you grow your hair and beard back?
Yes, my beard grows very fast. Did you listen to a song? Is that why you're saying that I sang recently?
Yeah, Mel. Our shop ran out of toilet paper. Went down there tonight, Mel. Not one bit of toilet paper or tissues or serviettes left.
All gone. Shelves completely empty. No, I sang that song a couple of years ago. But my beard and hair do grow quite quickly. I know one day it'll stop growing. It's just what happens, and I'll be a bald walnut like the rest of you. I'm waiting for a bite on that one. Yep. Certainly if you're going to stock up some stuff for your animals too. Very bare here today, Shauna. I would say 4/5 of the shelf were empty. But not panic, people not running around fighting each other, nothing like that. But very heavy trolley loads of food leaving the supermarket.
You been to the shop lately, Mel?
Went to JB Hi-Fi, the lady told me they're putting prices up soon. You see, that's wrong though, isn't it? Just because they have a limited supply doesn't mean they should have the right to raise them. The chat is gone for me, all right? Well, everyone else is talking, VMAC? Yeah, production is one of the main things, Scarlett. People aren't producing, they won't be coming in. I spent years in uniform having short hair and no beard. Very annoying having to shave once or twice a day. Yep. It's actually taken a lot of people by surprise. The people that work in these places, they're just staggered the amount of food that's been going out, because it's not normal. Welcome back, Mel. Yeah, I do think, Buttercup, that we're going to see some huge. You're going to see some weird stuff. Like housing in Australia is terrible, but the prices will go up. Why? People would rather not lose money on a stock exchange and put it into something hard, like a property, which always happens. And you see some other weird stuff where the actual commodities, during the transition from it being not good to terrible, things like precious metals actually start losing value. But that's a currency, if you like, even though silver for me is more valuable than gold. When you talk about what I'm saying as a currency, well, like all currencies, they're being affected. So housing prices will go up for a little while. Precious metals will probably come down. Stock market will look terrible. So people will turn to hard valued products, like investments in property. Because you may get in and at least not lose a lot of your money. That's what people do. No, I agree, Mel. We've all got our own little bag of shit. But just be smart. Just have a sort of a rethink. Like I say, we were making an enormous run down to a homeless shelter in 4 to 5 months if things go well. You are. Mel is very intelligent, attractive, smart. Probably would have been an Egyptian queen 2,000 years ago, having people that have beck and call. And she'd have lots of dogs. Now, being the queen, you can have probably 100 of them. There'd probably be dog effigies on the tombs, not so much hieroglyphs.
So you Tex.
Goodbye, Tex.
So you're not like Einstein smart. Mel wrote that.
Me or her?
You.
I'm not Einstein smart. Okay, all right.
That's what Mel said.
Never ever thought I was.
Oh, no, she's talking about herself.
Oh, okay. As long as it's not Cleopatra. No, she would be known as Queen Melodrama, which is funny. Queen Melodrama, everyone bow. Behind her comes 400 dogs. Feed them all, peasants, feed them now.
Mel's not going Buttercup.
No, it was Tex.
It's Tex.
I don't do dramas. All right then, keep your knickers on. I was just being funny. We're gonna, and listen carefully because some of you always take this the wrong way. I had my deck oiled today, twice.
Say it again.
My deck.
Say it again.
No. It come up pretty good. Yes, Scarlett, I knew you'd be one of them. Bad girl, Shauna. It's not shiny because we wanted to have the similar effect of the inside to the out. So we've got a deck on the inside and the deck on the outside similar. I'm currently working on the tone of the French doors to get some, I don't know what you call it, symbiotic relationship between timber and floor. No, it's not shiny. It's just nice.
Say it fast 10 times. Go on.
Decor, 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 decor. There you go.
VMAX said that. What colour is it? I like I don't know, what colour
Seeds
is it?
is not. Seeds preempted my explanation of my oiled deck by saying don't take it the wrong way. But you are wicked. All of you are wicked. You all have one side of your mouth smirking upwards as I'm speaking. And you probably got your hand to your chin thinking, yes.
Nah, it's not. It's waterproof, Mel, but any maintenance you can do it himself.
Yeah, I can look after my own deck. Yep, opiate overdose, yep. Yeah, there's lots of little things we're doing with the house. Like I say, if I pointed them out, you go, you haven't done anything. Yeah, we have. We put a trim there and we sanded it. This week there'll be bits and pieces.
I suppose it depends what accent you use. Saying
Yeah,
deck-
if you're Irish, you say my deck's been oiled.
Yeah.
My dad sounded more like Scottish to me, to be sure. I always do, Sean. I've always been a gentleman, particularly not revealing any stories involving something that involved my deck being oiled.
I was just reading Wrangler's comment. Just read, are you kidding me? Our ambulance have been playing taxi for the last month for people who think they are sick.
Yeah, there's that side
Turns
of
out
things
it's
too.
a common cold. Some people worry Wrangler, I suppose. They just think, well, they're doing the right thing by calling an ambulance so they don't go
Danny,
out in
I've
public.
got more wood. And in fact, I will let you touch the wood I have here when you get here. There is wood everywhere. Why? Because you know I like wood. Seriously. You can run your hand up and down on the wood and say, my goodness, Seeds, that is beautiful. You
Yeah,
will.
that's right. Seeds has got a shower video. Where's yours, Jono? All you other guys in here, come on. Up with your shower videos.
Danny got a little bit blushable then. But it's true. I've got lots of wood.
Jesus, Mel, that was
Beautiful.
quick.
It's taking innuendo, isn't it, Shauna? Which I know most of the women here gravitate towards. Let's be honest. Poor old Johnny's sitting there quietly now thinking, man, these girls are riled up. I could be in trouble.
Jono, Seeds was just talking about his deck. You missed him talking about his deck. And it's oiled.
Yes, they're famous flow-on words, aren't they, Scarlett? Yeah, I mean, I have done, even though I'm not the best specimen in the world, I have done a shower video, JP. And these ladies have all seen it and gone, it's probably time you did one. I mean, just for the group of friends you have, should be the girls, I'll take a vote. Do you think JP should do a shower video?
Yes.
Yes, it was. It was a review of 12-volt battery system, which worked great. You could do a review of, I don't know, shampoo, conditioner, body wash. Let the girls decide.
That's right, Mel. A good oiled deck, and if it's done right, it's not slippery.
Well, it's true. You don't want it slippery. Chocolate shower video. Good imagination, Danny. That's all right. We can wait till next Tuesday, JP. No problem.
Do a review of the oil.
Might hurt your bits. True.
Yeah. So I don't know, to be honest. I don't know what it was oiled in with.
Proper deck oil, which has several components into it. But it's a good investment to have floors treated correctly. Yeah, I love hardwood floors, always have done. Yes, you're quite correct, Mel. It's been a hard day's night. John is singing in the shower. It's been a hard day's night. He's coming out smelling like a flower. The
Yep.
girls are gonna get him. He can run it away, but they will find him. Yes, they will.
Danny and VMAC want an oil review of your deck and how it's not slippery.
Danny, I'm going to give you a personal
And
tour.
it's waterproof.
Personal tour. I'll just be wearing my PJs, which is usually nothing, and I'll show you my hardwood floors.
And I tell you, they're pretty long.
Yes, they are. In fact, it's the biggest investment in the house, to be honest with you, as far as what's gone into the build. I could buy a fleet of smelly old RVs, and I'm talking a large fleet. It was actually oiled with Cabots, C-A-B-O-T. There you go, the secret's out. Cabots. Even the ads for that company are innuendo, aren't they?
For which one?
Two blokes lean over fence.
Yes.
Have you oiled your deck? Yeah, the
Yes.
wife has always told me I should give it another cover. What's your wife got to do with it? Well, she says, come on, oil your deck. Yeah, that's the ads for the product. I'll be back shortly. I'm just gonna go and get some oil. I'll turn it off so you can see what light difference it makes.
Whoa. You just turned the outside light on.
I'll go for a little while.
Well, you can show them your deck. Oh. Oh, sorry, Dream. I'm trying to read your. How will it affect your medication, Dream? What do you mean, Dream? Like. Oh, Dream, do you mean if someone's sick, if their medication works, or do you mean, I'm not sure what you're asking, Dream. Say that in the Kiwi accent, Mr. Seeds, about your deck. Say,
Fish and chips.
say deck.
Someone's being disgusting. Where's Mel? You're now ethics. Head of ethics department here, Mel. You see something like that? You have to address the issue.
Yeah, the fires are contained now.
Yep, because most of the places that have fires have been flooded. But not all the fires, I must admit, there's still some going. Yeah, a lot of people don't know that, but a huge percentage
I see what
of
you mean,
drugs come
Dream.
from China.
So, I don't know, someone like, Danny might be able to answer that, or maybe Seeds. Dream's
Scarlett, I know
asking-
where you're going with that.
Or
Scarlett, behave yourself.
We'll have to time Scarlett out, mate. Dream asked.
So I'm going to have to make a song about this. I oiled my deck. Everyone joins in. He oiled his deck. La 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 la
Yeah,
la.
that's true, Mel. Dream asked if anyone that needs any kind of medication with this virus, would the medication maybe work differently if you had the virus? A good question, Dream. I don't know.
I believe, Buttercup, here, after I spoke to you about that, here, the government's ordered pharmacists to go no more than 2 weeks supply, which I think is a bit mean. But I don't know what happened with you. Maybe you got it. But here, pharmacists have been told no. They're just worried about a run on medications. That's all it is here. But if I have to top up my medications and take a large bag, by the time I got back, it'd still be empty. Yeah, I think you'll find, like all suppliers of everything, that they want to make sure that everyone can get a fair share. But if you're isolated, one of the things a doctor once told me, he said when people get in floods in Australia, they could be 3 months. They simply phone them and say, we can't get anything to you and you can't get out. So you know you're taking 2 of those tablets a day? Take 1, etc. So I get it. I understand what the doctor was saying is that you're still going to get medication at a lower dosage.
I think it depends what you have as well as to how far ahead they can write. Like, depending what you've got, you can get a 1 month, 2 month, 3 month, up to 6 month script, depending on your medication.
Yeah, but they're not letting you get the whole 6 months
No, you can't get it at once. You have to go.
during the cycle.
Yeah.
But I thought it was smart if you could get what you can get. Welcome back, Danny G.
Welcome back, Danny.
Where have you been? Ah, strange, Danny. You weren't here while JP wasn't here.
Oh, yeah.
Not saying anything, just, just observation. Yep. Like I say, there are some people, particularly diabetics, which I am one of, but I don't take any medication. We've got a friend in the family who just has to have his insulin every day. There's no if or but. You're doing well there, Angela. I can hear a noise, but I can't hear what she's saying. Man, this light's bright out here. Yeah, it's the same. It's just weird what the Americans have to pay, not only for their medical visits, but their medications are horrendous. Most of our medications, most of them, are subsidised to the extent like a pensioner who might have to have a drug worth $500 a month, they'll pay $5. That's how it works here. I know a sister-in-law that lives in Indonesia. She fills her bag with medications. I've had it for a long time, Wrangler, and I've always controlled it. There's some things you can't stop with diabetes, like neuropathy. That just comes. You keep that for free. But we do eat reasonably healthy. Yet I do smoke. Filthy habit. Mind you, the price of it is inhibitive, so that might end shortly. But we try and eat a lot of vegetables. And we hardly ever eat anything out of a tin or a packet. So we've spent money on getting those reserves. And I will eat them if I have to. Reluctantly, but I will eat them. Like I mean, no neuropathy. Had mine for the past 12 years. It's a funny thing, neuropathy in many different people. Oops. I'm going to make someone sick again. Apologise for that. 2 or 3 little bells on my string, she said. Isn't it ding-a-ling-ling? Ah, I got you, Gringo. Dog needs out. Dogs do talk, they just don't speak English. What's a ding-a-ling gringo? Well, I've seen you on video once, Bully, and that'd qualify as a explanatory note for you. A ding-a-ling gringo. Yep, 3 bells on a string. What was you stopped talking? No, I kept talking, just probably the noise of the cameras. I can't remember what I said. Leroy says, I bought Costco out of toilet paper. My basement is full. When the shed hits the fan, I'm not going to require a fan. Yeah, it's the same here, Leroy. Today, a local big supermarket, not a distance from here, but big one, it was 4/5 empty. No toilet paper at all. No medications, gone. There was the poor girl. My wife spotted, we've got toilet paper. She said, I might just go and grab one. She watched a girl come out with a trolley, big packs, like, packs of 30 or whatever they are. She was stacking them on the shelf. As soon as she was stacking them, people were actually taking them off the trolley that she brought them out in. By the time my wife got down there, the girl was just looking around thinking, oh well, they're all gone. Yeah, not everyone gets neuropathy. Neuropathy doesn't have to be through diabetes, though it helps. But there are other people that get neuropathies, all types. The MS Society, Multiple Sclerosis Society in Australia is brilliant. It looks into all sorts of things, not just multiple sclerosis, but all neurological. Let's go, Gringo. Bad boy, Gringo. Yeah, but we're going to see this, people, because people have just got to watch a television show and they say, in Cincinnati, for example, the shops have been emptied by the locals. What's going to happen in every other city is the same thing. Why are they getting lots? Oh, I'm going to get some. So it's the Peter Paul syndrome. I saw Peter with a trolley load of food. I'm going to go and get one. And it's not the worst thing in the world, and we're not short of food. You have a bidet. Is that a fancy way of explaining that you've got a garden hose, Dave? It does the job. Yeah, just like a gold brush. I'm having a little bit of aqua myself. Good stuff. It was Thai-style bum gun. Oh dear. Bangalore Road, here he comes. Yeah, well, the run on the banks occurred probably in the last 20 years 3 or 4 times. Remember Italy and Greece couldn't get any money out. They said you maximum $200 a day. People were quite up in arms. They might have $500,000 in the bank and they could only take $200. Of course, that followed massive inflation in certain countries. Devaluation of their currency, worth nothing. Money is just an acceptance. If old Gringo looks at me and says, yes, that's a $100 US bill, but I don't want it. I don't want it. But I notice you've got several silver coins. I'll take them. It's like the buyer and the seller syndrome. What's a house worth? Whatever a buyer intends to pay for it. Yeah, you're right, Leroy. But fear is one of those weird things. But it's a good adage, the old adage, expect the worst, prepare for the worst. But in fact, that means It's probably not going to be as bad as that, but it's going to be unpleasant, let's be honest. Well, if we're realists, and in all countries, Australia is not a lone sheep here. Our economies were very fragile before this came along. And in Australia, even more so, because half our country burnt to the ground. Now half the country is flooded. Now this, after drought and flooding rains, our economy is in a shambles. So this is just a catalyst to say to everyone, yeah, everyone should fear this. Trust me, there are plenty of Australians that feared flames a lot more than this. But, like I say, it is one of those simplistics. If you happen to get extra food and you don't use it, please think about what I've said, and that in 5 or 6 months, when everything's okie-dory, give it to the homeless shelter.
William's room is inundated with mozzies, and they get spraying, but they're gonna
Stay here tonight?
Yeah, because he's got, so about 5 minutes and he'll be here.
Did he leave a window open or something?
Well, Mark's checking and just going to bomb the room, but he'll be here shortly.
No worries. We don't even get any mozzies here.
I'll just close this, or you'll hear the car pull out.
Yeah, no worries. Well, money's, like grandfather always used to say, and I agree with him, money is a better form of poverty, but it doesn't make your world spin around. You go to sleep like everyone else does at night. Even if you're a billionaire, you still sleep. You still go to the toilet, you drop a dragon every now and then, and you do a wee, just like everyone else. You eat probably the same eggs that I eat. You probably even eat the steak I eat, and you probably travel in a car a bit better than mine. But in essential formats, you're human, which means that you have the same frailties that I do. That's my speech for the evening. If you've recorded that and want to put it down for posterity, please remember to quote me. Thank you. You get what I'm saying though? Life's not about how much you got. Life's about living it. In fact, I've met a lot of very miserable, wealthy people. I don't know why that's the case. I've got some friends, we caught up with in my old hometown, very wealthy. Yet they're the happy-go-lucky people that you would think, like the rest of us. They enjoy life. They don't flaunt anything. So that annoys me more than anything. Someone says, oh, I've got a BMW. I've got a spare BMW because I usually drive the Ferrari. And of course I get picked up by the chauffeur, so I don't use those two cars a lot. What are they saying to you? I am much better than you. Take notice. No, you're not. I'll refer you back to my statement. You still use the toilet. You still sleep like I do. You might eat a bit better, but we're the same. I had a neighbour. She was a lovely lady, but always used to come in and say, bought this new blouse today. What do you think? And you go, yeah, it's nice. 120 bucks. I go, right. And I'd stand up in my 30-cent Vinnie t-shirt and said, I bought this today. She said, how much? I said, 30 cents. But she kept doing it. I bought these shoes. Don't tell me. You had to sell one of your kidneys. No, only a couple $100. And I'd bring out my good Sammy shoes and say, $2. Strange, some people, when they want to, I don't know what they want to acknowledge you know, what they want as acknowledgement. Oh, yeah, that's good. It's like, what? It is, I believe. It's being derogatory in many ways, VMAC. People who work hard and get good things is one thing. People who work hard, get good things and flaunt them at people who will never be able to afford them is the wrong thing. I think my phone was going to flop over. So I will announce now, it will be probably in a month's time. That's when we'll be sort of living in the extension. I will privately talk to this person, and we will have our first guest on our one-and-one show. One-on-one. Just discovering the tapestry of life of each individual for whatever they're willing to share, but keeping things private. And it's not you, Bully. I just want to break that to you now. I don't want this to go on for weeks you not knowing. Do you know what I mean, Bully? So it's not you, because there is a criteria, and that is we need to see you. Story by a storyteller, only by audio, doesn't have that much impact. Well, you're not willing to go on camera, Bully, we know it. And mate, by the time I get you onto the panel, you'll be booted anyway, so it makes it hard. But my first guest, I'll only give you a wee little hint, and that's it. And no one is obligated to do any of this. Just a crazy carpet. Well, that's VMAC. The point is that we all have ordinary lives, but all of us have had extraordinary events in them. Some are not even believable, but they're true. Good night, Wrangler. Catch you next time, fella.
I'll turn this off and close this door.
Okay, if that's what you want to do. Are they here?
Well, you'll see the car pulling.
All right, should I panic?
No.
Okay.
I'll just tell him he's walking.
There's lots of good stuff in life, let's be honest. We tend to push the crappy things that happen in life aside and remember those wonderful moments. That's what it's all about. Moments. Mere moments of bliss, which are indelibly etched in your memory, in the file that says good times. Very sad today. I used to love watching his shows. He passed away. If any of you remember the Actors Studio, James Lipton passed away today at the age of 93. Very funny, dry humour, which I enjoyed. And he would interview people on a level that he'd be sympathetic with them, and they would certainly reveal lots of things that they wouldn't normally do in an interview. So, R.I.P. James Lipton. Yep, he was 93, VMAC, which surprised me. You keep forgetting how old people get. And I think he passed away with bladder cancer, so that would have been a long, drawn-out process. Well, Danny may want you live on my channel, but it's up to me, Bully. And at the moment, how do I put this gently? It's not me, it's you. We could all chip in, probably all of us, a few $100. We really could. To send Bully to an organisation that could change his personality. But when he met that personality, he'd probably shoot it. So it's sort of an exercise in futility. One of the psychological things, and I'm not trying to pinprick you, Bully, is that because most of the statements you made are in the third person, in other words, you don't think you hold yourself responsible for the words you say because you mention it in the third person, means that the first person, being you, has low self-esteem, has a lot of inaccuracies that just can't be explained because because you need to have some sort of understanding of who you are. But you choose to deliver most of your statements in the third person, which means you're not happy with the first person. That could happen, VMAC. That would be a possibility. He's promised to go live. He's promised to do cooking shows. None of it eventuates. But that's okay. He can just be that little person in the room that occasionally tips the furniture over, and we sort of deal with that in our own way. But you always have that. Mel's computer restarted. That would explain the Milo stains on the keyboard. Bought a tin of Milo for the first time. Usually buy that during going into the cooler months. Milo is really yum. I don't have a lot of it, but it's nice. Milo's good. I used to when I was a kid. The Buttercup's still here. I'm sure she can still get it. We get it here. I rarely have it. Used to have Ovaltine. Sort of similar, but not the same flavour as Milo. But Ovaltine. Hot milk, Ovaltine, yum. Just one of those, it's got a flavour of all of its own. Sort of malty, a malt type flavour. You know, when you think about Bully, and I'm not being derogatory, but it sounds this way when I do say it, his idea of sport is probably bingo. Do you know what I mean? That's enough of that. My arm is killing me. Yes, it is. It's not bad. Ovaltine. Drank the stuff by the bucket. Yes, supposed to be good for lactating mothers. No, we've seen Bully once live on camera in the last year, Mel. And I gave a profile, as that was part of my past. He didn't like it because I said you're about 5'4", you're about 180 pounds. He said no. Bully is third person reference again. Bully is 5'11". Well, he was in a video with a renowned e-beggar. Standing next to him, we know how big this person is, and he was about 3 inches shorter. Little porker. I'm not quite 8 foot. But I'll be able to pick up, you know that guy, the Canadian comedian who picks up that skeleton, you know? Salads, I'd kill you. I could do the same thing with Bully, you know? Wouldn't look out of place. Yeah, I could never understand the handkerchief. Because believe it or not, just by covering your nose and mouth, but if your eyes, you need to learn this one, Bully, your eyes and your forehead and your ears, any sketch artist could paint the picture of you to perfection. You didn't know that, did you? Oh, just got to make sure the boys got everything because they always forget stuff. So I'm going to let you talk amongst yourselves for a couple of minutes. I'll go and catch up with the grandson and I'll come back out. Hello. Yes, they forgot something. A sock. So that'll be brought back later. I don't know what you've been saying because we've been away organising him for school clothes, food, etc., etc. Why wouldn't your driveway meet your garage? I don't know if you're talking to me. I'm yet to build my garage. But yeah, poor little bugger, his room at home where he's getting mosquitoes, but no other room. Yeah, it's a good saying, BMX. Snitches get stitches. It is indicative, Buttercup, of not being confident enough in yourself, in other words, low self-esteem, that you would prefer to refer to yourself a bit like, you know, when a kid has an imaginary friend. I'll give you the psychological version. I've got this friend. He's got a horn in the middle of his head, and each night he tells me stories. Then he takes me to school with him, and I ride on the bus with my imaginary friend with the horn. What's the name of your friend? Oh, his name's Bully. No, not me. That's the truth of the matter, is when someone has low self-esteem, is not confident in themselves, they will refer to and say stories like, oh, I've got this friend, he's got a problem. In fact, they're talking about themselves. So that's their way of handling the world. Usually, and it's quite explainable in some circumstances where trauma has occurred during someone's life, so they refer to their imaginary friend or in the third person as a defensive mechanism. I'm not sure. Must be a funny state. That's probably true. There's a runoff effect, Buttercup. You know, when you associate yourself with someone who doesn't have morals, or, oh dear, look what happened. I think this is called a cumulative sentence, or in your case, Bully, concurrent.
Yeah, there you go. Say good night.
Have you got any calamine lotion for his bites?
No, just say good night. They can't see you.
All right. My grandson's saying good night. Good night. Have a good one. And what do you want for lunch tomorrow?
I'll make it a plain sandwich.
That sounds like a plan. It's a shame that my name's not Charlie, when you think about it, with these three girls. It's a beautiful night though. No wind, not cold, not hot. Not a lot. He's probably got 4 or 5, but he'll be good. But it's just strange because his bedroom's not too far away from his parents' bedroom on the second floor, but he's the only one that gets mosquitoes. But some people, as you all know, get bitten more. I've been round campfires with my shirt off, having a couple of cold ones, having a great night. And my mate across from me, he's just slapping himself, getting bitten. Just some people get attracted to mosquitoes. Some folk are just tastier. That's true. It's weird. It's true, isn't it? I mean, you'll be 1 out of 5 people and you're slapping yourself and they're all going, what's wrong with you? You're getting bitten. I'm getting bitten. No one else gets bit. So what's on the agenda for you good people today? Most of you are just starting your day. Some of you are in the middle of your day. What plans do you have? Full domination of the planet? No, it's just a thought. Be right back. I'm back. When you come here, Mel, and you go out of the room, come back in, go out of the room, I'm going to put a pair of handcuffs on you, tie you to the table. You'll be screaming, but I want to be right back. No. All organised. Have we got any calamine lotion for him?
No.
Oh, okay. Can't think what else to put on him.
So Mel's doing a whole be right back. So I'm back now. I'm back. Grandson's in bed. So what's VMAC been doing?
Spring cleaning, getting rid of the mice and their emergency supplies.
What does the little mouse keep saying to get booted?
I must go now.
I
I'll make
was
this
being-
sound very dramatic. All right, I must go now. My walking partner will be arriving soon.
All right, see you, Danny.
His name is Larry. He's the head fire chief of the station. He won't be walking for long.
There'll be a video of that.
Show me your hose. I've just watched a man tell me about oiling his dick, officer.
Yes, Mel, I have been busy, that's right, looking after all things. Getting the grandson organised, getting him to do his teeth. Make
Actually,
sure he's got
I
his
got him
school
to do his
stuff.
teeth. What are you talking about? I got him to do his teeth.
No, you gave him a piece of polony before he was meant to brush his teeth.
And then I got organised him to brush his teeth. He always has to have a piece of emergency polony before bed. It's law. Yeah, at least, I mean, ladies, at least you're doing him some service because it's attention, whether it's good or bad. It's attention for the third person that he doesn't normally receive. You often,
Oh, that's good to hear, VMAC. So Bully's been playing up. Well, see, I've got you girls. I left him in capable hands. Oh my God, he's back.
What's the name, Bully? This is a pertinent question. Not for you, of course, but the third person in your relationship. Does your third person have a girlfriend? I'm thinking if you had a girlfriend, it'd be something like Giselda or something like that. I just have this feeling it'd be Giselda with a moustache. But that's okay. We have lesbian friends, we have gay friends, and we've got Bully.
See, Mel's been very patient with you, Bully. Yes, Mel, he is. He is besties with Elbow. Now, Mel's the only one that actually hasn't had a chance to time you out or delete your comments.
But Mel is
she
such
needs,
a kind and benevolent soul. She wouldn't.
But
well, maybe she would.
Mel needs practice, Bully. So behave. And yes, Mel, he is besties with Elbow.
It's one of those things that Bully, in a previous name as well, used to do. He would always try and defend the indefensible. In other words, the rat bags. because of their notoriety or the lesser thoughts that people think of them, at least, like I said before, good or bad attention is what he seeks. He does it everywhere he goes, and when he does have a wrench, he will, I'm sure, use it.
Oh, he does. Yep, that's right, Mel.
Yes, that's true. But just like everything that's constricting finance, all the things that are being restricted in production, the loss of advertising revenue will be felt here on YouTube. Mark my words. Companies will contract, spend less. So that has a direct impact on people that garnish revenue.
Yeah, bully, it's nothing new. Everyone's got one there.
Where's that?
Wrench at Tucker's, everybody has one.
Well, there you go. This place really is just a remedial centre for Bully. He gets constricted, he gets his freedom of speech reduced on occasions, but it's all behavioural. In other words, these fine women are offering you a therapy that you're unaware of. And it doesn't cost you anything, which I'm pretty sure that if you came to an office and supposedly I was there, you were visiting me and you wanted some therapy, well, you wouldn't walk in the door without me knowing that you could pay the $300 for the half-hour session. And here, it's free. Quite extraordinary.
Train.
How about Bully does a different sort of video? Why doesn't he do a song? Sing a song. If I came to the US and I met you, Bully, it would be because you actually own a stepladder.
I'm telling you now, when, not if, when, we've just put the holiday back, that's all. It's when we come to the US and you happen to be somewhere we are,
No problem.
I will be videoing it. I will warn you. I don't usually say, if you don't want to be videoed, blah, but I will video it.
And the only weapon I will need against you, Bully, would be my shadow.
Yeah, that's right, Mel. But Mel needs practice, Bully, so just be warned. I will take Mel step by step through how to use her wrench if she doesn't know.
Bully, how can you fly my wife to the moon when you only drive a small, short bus? You're not going to have enough supply of oxygen for starters. And you don't drive. Generally, Bully's way of transportation, he just carjacks someone and says, take me to the post office.
And there'll be no wearing a damn bandana hanky around your face. That's right, Mel.
That's a very good statement, Mel.
That's a good one, Mel. Mel gets 2 stars for that.
But again, the attention you're giving him is what he seeks, good or bad, doesn't matter. He's sitting on the end of his bed pulling a little doll apart, flint by flint.
Well, that's right. He always yeah. Mel, just whenever you feel it's too much, you know what to do, love.
He's talking to his child. He's saying, they're talking about me. Hold the dolly up to the screen. See? They're talking about me.
back to deck. No, well, actually, how old's William?
10?
11.
Nearly 11, not 10.
He's only about an inch shorter than me.
Yeah.
I'm 5'2", and my grandson can look me in the eye. He's so tall. It's growing up too quick.
As all the grandkids are. We are blessed to watch it while we can.
Yeah, that's true, VMAC. You're very right there. Now you ask for everything you get. You push people. You do it purposely. I say it every time.
But we know this.
Actually, while you were chatting amongst yourselves, Seeds was actually showing his deck to their family.
Yeah.
Mel, have a practice. Mel, tap name and tap remove.
Or is it? I don't know, I don't even do it. The time
Hey,
has come.
yes, Mel. Mel did it.
The final curtain. Yeah. That doll on the end of the bed's now been torn to shreds.
He just asks for it all the time.
And he'd be saying to the dolly, Dolly did it.
Did.
Dolly made me do it.
What are you apologising for, Mel?
Reminds me of a Rambo movie. Mel, First Blood.
Why, Mel? I'm telling you, and Bully's listening. He gets warned so many times, all the time.
It's okay to be a little bit naughty. It's just like adding a bit of spice to your meals, Mel.
He doesn't hesitate when he's got a wrench in anyone else's room to do that to people for absolutely no reason.
A wrenchgasm. That's funny.
Oh dear. Actually, Mel, you've been a bit slack tonight. I have not had a photo of your
No,
dinner.
we don't even know what you've eaten tonight.
Yeah, don't even know what you've eaten tonight.
Nothing. Wrenchgasm. That'll be all over YouTube by tomorrow, Mel,
Yeah,
won't it?
actually, that's a good one.
There'll be someone's name called Wrenchgasm.
That was very quickly, Matt.
It is. And I tell you what, Mel, if you behave yourself, I'll let you walk upon it.
Yes.
Barefooted, if you like.
I'll be having my coffee on the deck tomorrow morning. Will it be dry then?
Yeah, be good. Disgusting. I have a troll account named.
Yeah, well, that's a good one.
As of now.
VMAC. Oh, well, I get a bit of a sleep in the morning because the grandson's here.
Yeah, he goes to school at 8. He'll be up at 6.
Yeah, but I said he's got to stay in bed till 7. Try and have a sleep in a rest. Oh, your puppy dog's Buttercup. All right.
Okay. Have a great day,
Conserve
Buttercup.
that toilet. Yeah, one sheet. Use the four corners first.
Don't forget to recycle.
Yes. Oh yeah, we're the same, BMAC.
Yeah, winter or summer we have.
And we're
In the morning we go out and have coffee.
starting to get the birds back more. So it's
I
really
forgot to tell
nice.
you went in and got our second coffee, and about 8 in a row of those Western rosellas flew really low past the shed. Beautiful colours. When we
Yeah.
get our bird feeders set up, you'll see them.
Yeah, we're getting more birds back now. Yeah, Mel got him. Mel made him have his nap, Leroy. Mel.
Yep, he's in the corner with his pacifier, rocking backwards and forwards. I will kill all of them.
Yeah. But I don't know what's wrong with him tonight, because usually, first time he's timed out,
10-minute one.
he usually doesn't come back in the room.
You're in charge.
Okay, that's scary. I'm in charge.
This is ours, isn't it?
Yes, so I want you to put that somewhere so they don't accident. Well, I took it out of the shed.
Well, you didn't bring it out here, did you?
I did. I took it out of the laundry so I could clean. Caesar's just going to check on the grandson. Yeah, he does. Where did you put it?
What's that?
The painter's step.
In the laundry.
I was
In
going
the
to
laundry.
put it in the shed tomorrow.
Good idea. I think it's working. We'll find out shortly.
Oh.
Did that guy Henny get back to you?
Oh yeah, I'll tell you later.
Okay. I think there might be something in that, Leroy.
He thinks it's attention.
He probably has to pay for that normally. Here, the good women take care of his needs.
For free.
Yes. Again, bonus. It's like having a younger brother from a different mother. Never quite fitted in. Ah, now see VMAG. What are you trying to say? It's like having a little toy boy without the side effects. I shall beat him. Yes, I shall beat him. Over and over again. Maybe you should bill him, VMAG. So I don't know really what's going on the bottom of YouTube because I don't need to. Usually 1 or 2 sentences from people, I get to know what's going on without having to spend hours agonising my way through a very boring hangout of big, give me money, I'm better than you. But I think the time's coming on YouTube when even small channels like mine, the very small amount of monetization we get, they'll just take it away. That's coming. Stated, and that will be the end of me. No, I'll keep doing this. That's fine. But a lot of other people, if they're not getting any money, won't do it anymore, I guess. They'll just fold. But we've been on for quite a while, so I might end this shortly.
So we have to watch out for that name.
What name?
Oops, friendship.
Frenchgasm.
Frenchgasm.
That will be commentating in a channel within hours, I imagine, or shortly. Be make sure of that.
Yeah, but you have to go now and delete all that, VMAX, and no one knows it's you, because you said it before.
It'll just come out of the blue. No one comes in here. We just get a few of our friends to talk to. This is not a gathering. We don't yell and scream at each other.
Be right back, Mel. You back or you're going? But you're still on Be Right Back, okay.
So do we get a picture of what was created tonight, or did you have a slack night tonight, Mel? A devastation amongst the Bigfoot community. They know not what's coming. Lots of appointments today. Leftovers. Leftovers can be yum, let's be honest. I had half a leftover pork schnitzel and a bit of bread and butter today. That was good.
Yes, I shall get ready for bed myself in a minute.
Okie dokie, we shall toodle off, toodle peep, all that sort of thing. So from the little princess, which is, she's very dark. Looks like a horror movie. And for me, have a good one, everyone. Have a great day, and we'll see you another time. Bye-bye.